Alright, Reflection. Guess what? Another twid. This week in Destiny, we're getting cozy with the holidays with some baking, not only for the Donny, but also ourselves. After all, we can only deliver so many classic butter cookies before wanting some ourselves. With the holidays upon us, this is our final twid for the year. So let's get into it. So, yep, final twid. We won't get a new twid until probably the second. Which means it's going to be a while. Closing out 2024, looking ahead to 2025. Act Three's balance updates. Bungie store for the holidays, dawning fashion, bake off favorites, Bungie Foundation year in review, and the D2 fashion feedback update. um, this year is winding down, but it's not done yet. Let's finish off strong and take a look at a few things to put on your calendar so you don't miss out in the following week. Next week will be your final opportunity to find the Adept Uzume sniper rifle in the Nightfall pool route rotation. While still available for focusing, this is your last chance to earn the Adept version, so jump in, add it to your arsenal. By the way, in case you're still trying to find a God roll rank angle, the following week, December 24th, our first ever Stasis Glaive will be back in the rotation. Chill Clip is very strong on it. The final Trials of Osiris week, and you'll see the return of class-based matchmaking, 1 Hunter, 1 Warlock, 1 Titan on each team. It'll be the final week for the Summoner in the loot pool, so push hard if you're still chasing its depth version or one more roll. 2 Crucible Labs modes are coming. Hardware Supremacy, which means you'll have to fight for crests, focusing on your own gunplay as ability regeneration is disabled. Finally, to close out the year, we have the return of doubles. So 2v2 Clash will be there. Looking ahead, some big things. January 7th will be the start of Act 3 of Season of the Revenant. So get ready to do all of that and more. There will be another new dungeon on February 7th, and there will be a dungeon race. 9 a.m. PT, so 11 a.m. Central Time for me. Get ready for that. January 14th, Iron Banner will be here for one last run. Starting January 31st, Trials will return for one final time right before the episode Heresy starts. This will also be the last week the Prophet will be available. So that means January 31st, there will be no Trials for me. Because I don't want to get the Prophet. Not really a weapon I'm going for. With the launch of Revenant Act 3, we have a slew of additional armor and weapon balance updates planned for the following week on January 14th. The bulk of this update will be aimed at addressing some overperforming weapons in the Crucible, and then buffing the number of underperforming ones as well. Starting first, sidearms, heavy bursts. We preemptively nerfed heavy burst items before we made the D2 into light sandbox changes because they had one of the most forgiving body shot times of kills in the game. We have not walked them back those changes entirely, as that goes against the spirit of the current PvP sandbox, where pulses are fucking reigning supreme. Probably, I don't know. I haven't played in a while. Probably since like last week. Yeah, last week was the last time I played heavily on the Destiny. I think if I did do anything, probably really be focused on can do. But let's see, what else? Some machine guns in general, some machine guns are currently struggling in both high in PvE and PvP, where combating more resilient enemies is making their small magazines feel overly punishing. We're bringing their magazine sets up a small amount globally and will be slightly increasing their damage versus minor combatants in Heresy. Increase damage slightly to remove a resilience gate from their optimal TTK on rapid fire auto rifles. So first off, let's look at heavy burst sidearms. Things like brass attacks. Forgiveness. Liminal Vigil, which I have one. I should still have one at least. Breach Light. Trying to see if there's any other heavy burst sidearms that I would probably I have used or probably would use. Oh, Empirical Evidence is a heavy burst, which I should probably craft one, because that but we still feel increasing the strength of some close range primary weapons as a worthy endeavor given to the close engagements. Okay. Let's see. Some machine guns, they're just getting a general thing. Auto rifles are rapid fire frame ones, is what they're talking about. So that would be things like the crate. Chroma Rush. Veiled Threat. Perseverance, Valkadin, Dark Decider. Are there any other rapid frames that I should be... Oh, Rufus's Fury. So, yeah, another rifle meta might start. High impacts. Report your feedback that in hands of highly skilled players, high impact pulses can feel oppressive. We removed the last bit of baked-in forgiveness, requiring them to hit 6 crits to achieve their optimal TTK against all resilience levels over 1. At the same time, to reduce their top-end effectiveness, we're decreasing the range via the aim down sight ADS fall-off scaler, which will bring them more in line with adept hand cannons and reduce their range below other pulse rifles. Precision hand cannons. Precision hand cannons have seen a small bump in usage and effectiveness after the recent buff to body shot damage. We wanted to lean harder into the fantasy of the intrinsic perk. This change will affect Luna's Howl, Not Forgot, and Malfeasance. Intrinsic perk. Luna's Howl, Not Forgotten, and Malfeasance. Great! So, any precision hand cannon that has it, this will only affect if you have a Luna's Howl, Not Forgotten, or a Malfeasance. Most people would have a Malfeasance. It is an exotic, after all, that most people have, so get ready to see that be used. There it is. That's why I didn't recognize it. And then in terms of hand cannons, they said Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten. So yeah, get ready to see those weapons be used more. Are they going to add? Are they going to make? I've forgotten the PvP random rolled weapon that you can get. Probably. uh, Scout rifles, lightweights. To bring down their TTK, which is one of the slowest in the game. So they buff the TTK damage that you can do, and make them more forgiving in terms of it. But these changes were quickly undone when we moved into it. We re-implemented these changes. Okay. Sniper rifles generally. We're continuing to work on to reduce the visual flinch experience experienced by snipers in Crucible to be more reasonable level. The intent is to maintain the difficulty for shooting through flinch to allow for counterplay, without it feeling too jarring to be damaged while scoped in. Okay. We felt like Iron Banner or Shirk could use an effect to make it worthwhile in PvE, and we think this addition now activates in PvE and makes menus slightly less accurate when targeting you when active. This is like the effect Manticore has when airborne. Target lock. With the increased magazine to SMGs, keeping this perk in its nerf state rendered effectively useless, we'll keep an eye on how this perk does in Strength of the Crucible. Remove the custom tuning to make the perk less effective on SMGs. Here we go. Something interesting. Exotic weapons. Graviton Lance is arguably the strongest primary weapon in the game when viewed across both PvE and PvP sandboxes. While it's not proven to be too problematic in the high-skill Crucible lobbies, it's dominating lower and middle levels to an unhealthy degree. As we see an extremely high uptime and potency across all levels of PvE content, as such, it needs to be brought in more in line with both sandboxes. One option we considered was bringing the stats down closer to other heavy bursts, but that felt like too much to depart from the spirit of the weapon. Instead, we settled for reverting the RPM back to its previous value of 300. In PvE, the RPM reduction will effectively be a small DPS nerf, while in Crucible, it will move back onto how it was performing pre-Episode 2. Reverts RPM back to a 300. Malfeasance. This gun feels noticeably different to shoot compared to other 180s because it was missing some of the intrinsic benefits provided by the precision perk. Added the remaining intrinsic effects from the precision hand cannon perk, including accuracy bonuses and new ADS movement speed, penalty reduction. The airborne effectiveness was already baked into the stats. So Malfeasance is going to basically be just like any precision hand cannon that you use. So when you use things like, I don't know, Service Revolver, or let's see, where are some of the newer ones? It's probably the newest precision Sightline Survey. It's going to have that kind of feeling with the airborne effectiveness already in the stats of the gun. Stoicism, Spirit of Alphalupe. The healing impulse has been tuned around Barricade, which has a significantly less uptime than Thruster. Now that Alphalupe can work on Thruster, we need to branch the effect of the strength accordingly. So, not a whole lot. There's probably going to be more in like a thing closer to all this. A lot more stuff, that they'll probably see. Different stuff. Okay. A skateboard. A skimmer skateboard. Right. Donning fashion. Okay, that was some Dawning stuff. Fashion and cookie baking. Bungie Foundation taking a look back. Little Lights program added 6 new partners, bringing the total of 20 hospitals and 7,300 iPads. 7 new students from underserved communities receive scholarship. Okay, cool, nice. Make a Wish. There are 50 Make a Wish. Oh, damn, nice. Fashion. Yes, please. Yes, yes. Just yes. Yes. Give me. Make a Warlock set. I want it now. And then, yes, this. More cryptid stuff. Like, I think this would be good for, like, like a Halloween thing. That would be perfect. Player support. Earlier this week, we never any players who obtained it. They will keep it. Dawning weapon fixes, tonic fixes, other known issues. So yeah, that's the twid. Some art of the week, some movie of the week. The next twid will be on January 9th. So after a whole week, after the new year has began, we will get a twid. So that means they have 3 weeks to come up with a very, very good twid. Alright, well, with that being said, Red Faction, I will see you later. I hope you enjoy both this video and the video that's being uploaded as I'm recording this right now. It's a video that was recorded yesterday on stream, talking about all the stuff from the big kind of blog that they posted about some stuff they're working on when it comes to both Heresy and Frontiers. So yeah, that being said, I'll see y'all later. Have a good one.